Hello everyone, welcome to the series of histology. In this lecture, we will talk about epithelial tissue. As you already know, our body is made up of four kind of tissue. One is muscular tissue, second is nervous tissue, third is connective tissue, and fourth is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is also called as epithelium. So in this lecture, our main focus will be on the epithelial tissue. So what is the epithelial tissue? Epithelial tissue is nothing, it's just a covering of our internal and external part of the body. Means it cover our body from inside and as well as also from outside. If we talk about the definition, then you can learn it easily with a mnemonic, that is so epithelial tissue is nothing, it's just a covering of our organ, body cavity, and blood vessel. So this is the definition of epithelial tissue. Actually, it is a tissue. So tissue are made up of group of cells. In the epithelial tissue, the cells are, you can see, tightly packed. Means there are no, or you can say very a little gap in between the cell, and these cells are avascular. Means there is no blood supply in this cell. And let's talk about the types of epithelial tissue. So on the basis of shape, epithelial tissue can be divided into three types. One is squamous epithelium. Second one is cuboidal epithelium, and the third is columnar epithelium. So on the basis of shape of the cell, epithelium is divided into three types: squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. So let's see what's the difference among them. If you look at the squamous epithelium, it's very flat, like a fried omelette, and it is lie on the basement membrane. So this is the basement membrane, okay, and its nucleus is also flattened. So as from the shape, you can see the width is more than the height. In the squamous epithelium, width is more than the height, and the nucleus is flat. It's like a sheet of paper. You know, sheet of paper is very thin, so material can easily pass across them. So material can easily pass across this. So from that, you can say its function is exchange of what? Exchange of material, or more specifically you can say diffusion and filtration. So this is the main function of the squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium is flattened, width is more than the height, nucleus is flat, and its function is exchange. Second one is cuboidal epithelium. From the name suggests, the word cube, it's like a cube. It's like a cube, and this is present in the continuous manner. and this is the nucleus. So a cube has all sides are equal, like length, breadth and height. So its width is equal to its height, and the nucleus is round in shape. In the cuboidal epithelium, the nucleus is round in shape and its width and height are equal. Another one is columnar epithelium. As the name suggests, column, it's like a column. Column has very long height. It has very long height, and it also lie on the basement membrane. Squamous epithelium, cuboidal and columnar all lie on the basement membrane. So because it is long, so its nucleus will be also elongated. So its nucleus is also elongated in shape. And when you see the width is very less comparison to the height. Width is very less comparison to the height. One thing I forget to tell you, function. The function of cuboidal epithelium is absorption and secretion. Actually, cuboidal and columnar epithelium both function are same. Both function is absorption and secretion, but the columnar epithelium is more involved in the absorption and secretion function. So columnar epithelium is more involved in the absorption and secretion. And next we will talk about the examples in our body where are these epithelium are present. So squamous epithelium, to remember its example, you can easily remember it from the trick AB3, where A stands for alveoli, B stands for, there are 3 B. First B stands for body cavity, another B stands for blood vessel, and the last B, Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule, it is a part of nephron. So this is the example of squamous epithelium. You can easily remember it from the trick AB3. And let's talk about the example of cuboidal epithelium. Example of cuboidal epithelium, you can also remember it from the example TOK, where T stand for thyroid follicle, O stand for germinal epithelium of the ovary, and T stand for tubules of the kidney. So this is the example of cuboidal epithelium. And next is columnar. So columnar epithelium, you can easily remember it from SLU. S for stomach, and L stand for large intestine, and U stand for uterus. Actually, intestine function is, as you already know, absorption of foods. So large intestine, I wrote large intestine, not small intestine, because we are talking about only columnar epithelium. But in small intestine, in the columnar epithelium plasma membrane, there are a special kind of surface projection is also present, and that is called as cilia. It is columnar, okay. It's columnar, and plasma membrane cilia is present. Cilia. So that's why the small intestine small intestine lined by simple columnar ciliated epithelium, and that small structure is microvilli. It is called as microvilli. It is surface projection. Actually it helps in the increasing surface area, so absorption of food occur more good way. Okay, and this microvilli is also present in the gallbladder. So this is all about the simple epithelium. Here we are talking about this. Actually epithelium is divided into two types. In here we discuss epithelium on the basis of the shape, and next we are going to discuss epithelium on the basis of layers. If epithelium is a single layer, then it is called as simple epithelium. If epithelium has more than one layer, then it is called as compound epithelium or stratified epithelium. So here we all around discuss about the only simple epithelium, and now we are going to discuss about the compound epithelium. You know what compound epithelium is also called as stratified epithelium. Why? Because the word strata means multiple layer, many layers. So stratified epithelium has many layers. Stratified or compound epithelium. So first one is stratified squamous epithelium. It is not very different. It just has what? Many layers, or you can say multiple layers. In the stratified squamous epithelium, what will you see? You see that all cells are not lying on the basement membrane, because some cells are present on the other cells. So this is the basal layer. This is intermediate layer, and this one is the topical, or you can say apical layer. So nucleus. Okay, you can imagine it. Okay, so what is the feature of stratified epithelium? In stratified epithelium, the most important feature is all cells does not lie on the basement membrane. Only basal layer is in contact with the basement membrane. This is the basement membrane. And in the stratified squamous epithelium, the basement layer may be columnar or cuboidal, and the intermediate layer, it will be polygonal in shape. Polygonal, as you know, poly means many, gonal means angle or side. Means the intermediate layer is not, you cannot define it particular like is round, cuboidal or columnar. Means it may have many shapes, and therefore it is called as polygonal. And that, since we are studying stratified squamous epithelium, so stratified epithelium always named according to the what kind of apical layer are present. So in here the apical layer is squamous epithelium. That's why it is called as stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, so we should talk about example also. But one thing you need to know that the stratified squamous epithelium is also classified into two types on the basis of the keratin. You know keratin. So on the basis of keratin, it is classified into two types. One is keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, and another one is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Actually, keratin is a tough fibrous protein. Keratin is a tough fibrous protein, and it protects your body from friction, microbes, mechanical stress, and so on. So you can see your skin outermost layer on the epidermis keratinized stratified squamous epithelium is lined. So all around outside of your body there will be always keratinized epithelium, that is keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, means it's present on the outer surface of your skin. So it will, you can say, on dry surface, it will line dry surface. And the non-keratinized squamous epithelium present on the wet surface, means it lines your body inside, and keratinized lines your body from outside. So let's talk about the examples. So its example, you can remember it is from fat, where the F stand for filiform papillae of tongue. Okay, and A for anal verge. Actually, anal verge, if you, this is your anus, and that outer 0.8 centimeter outside of your anal canal, it is lined by keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, and inside is lined by what? Non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium and T remains. So T stand for thick skin. In broad term, you can say entire skin of your body which is lying outside. Okay, so this is the example of keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Let's talk about the non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. In this epithelium, as the name suggests, the keratin layer are absent. That's why it is called a non-keratinized. Let's see the diagram of that. If the epithelium is keratinized, then in the apical layer nucleus will be absent because it is dead cell. If it is keratinized, the nucleus will be absent on the apical layer, and if it is non-keratinized, then the nucleus will be present because this is not dead cell. Okay, and the basal cell is always growing and dividing. So let's talk about the example of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. You can easily remember it from a trick, that is OTT ETV, where O stands for oral cavity, T for tongue, another T for tonsil, E stands for eustachian tube, okay, V stand for vagina for trachea. So this is the stratified squamous epithelium, and next we will talk about stratified cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, and one, actually we forgot one epithelium, that is pseudo stratified epithelium. You may get confused, either is it simple epithelium or stratified epithelium, because their name is stratified, but the word pseudo means false, means it is not stratified epithelium, it is simple epithelium, but it is look like stratified. That's why it is called as pseudo stratified epithelium. It will be clear from the picture. This is the basement membrane, and these are the cells lying on the basement membrane. As you can see, some cells are so tall, some cells are so dwarf, and because of that, nucleus is present at the various level. But what I told you, what is the feature of stratified epithelium? In the stratified epithelium, all cell does not lie on the basement membrane, but as in this picture you can see that the all cells are lying on the basement membrane. So because of the different level of nucleus, it is look like multi-layered, but actually it is not, actually it is single layered. Okay, and because of different level of nucleus, it gives a falsification of multi-layering, and that's why it is called a pseudo stratified epithelium. Okay, pseudo stratified epithelium. And let's talk about its example also. So if we talk about the pseudo stratified columnar epithelium, it is present on respiratory on the lining of respiratory tract, nasal cavity, on many areas of respiratory tract, nasal cavity, paranasal sinus, and trachea, eustachian tube, and primary bronchi. And on their surface, one special structure, that is cilia, is present. That's why it is called a pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Before we discussed about that microvilli, which is also surface projection, but that was teeny finger like projection, and the cilia is hair like projection, and its function is the removal of mucus substances. Okay, and so this is also a kind of simple epithelium. So we cover all simple epithelium, and we also cover one stratified epithelium. And now we are going to discuss about the stratified cuboidal epithelium. So this is the basement membrane, and the basal layer of cuboidal or columnar. Apical layer is polygonal, and intermediate layer is polygonal. Basal layer is either cuboidal or columnar, and the apical layer is cuboidal, because the stratified epithelium always named according to the apical layer. So apical layer is here, the apical layer is cuboidal, that's why it is called as stratified cuboidal epithelium. Actually, in all stratified epithelium like stratified cuboidal, columnar and squamous, everything is same. It just only difference you see on the basis of apical layer. So in stratified squamous epithelium, their apical layer was squamous cells, and here the apical layer are cuboidal cells. That's why it is called as stratified cuboidal epithelium. And if you talk about the example is exocrine gland and sweat gland. Okay, I'm also feeling sweat. So this is the stratified cuboidal epithelium, and another one is stratified columnar. So there is no difference. This is the basement membrane, the basal layer is cuboidal or columnar, this is the intermediate layer, and since it is stratified columnar, so the apical layer will be columnar. Okay, so apical layer will be columnar. So this is the stratified columnar epithelium. And if we talk about the example, example will be penile urethra and membranous urethra. This is the stratified columnar epithelium. Okay, and there are one more type of epithelium that is called as transitional epithelium. You can say it is a special kind of epithelium. In the transitional epithelium, it is sometimes behave like, actually it is stratified epithelium, but what will you see that there is change in the layer. Sometimes its layer is, you see its layer is increased, sometimes it get decreased. When it stretch, its layer get decreased, as you can see here, and when it relax, it layer gets, and when it is in relaxed position, the layer get increased, and when it is in stretch position, the layer will be decreased. This is the important feature of transitional epithelium. Actually, transitional epithelium is 4 to 6 layer thick. Okay, and in transitional epithelium also, the basal layer will be cuboidal or columnar, and intermediate layer will be polygonal, and the difference you will see apical layer. The apical layer is here, the apical layer is umbrella shaped. That's important feature of the transitional epithelium. Okay, so as you know, when you uh, when your bladder get filled. Okay, so it get stressed, so the layers of epithelium also get decreased, and when you pass out the urine, your bladder gets relaxed and the layer increased. So the transitional epithelium mainly found on the urinary organs. Where it is found? It is found on the urinary organs, like urinary bladder, ureter, and prostatic urethra, and combination of them is called as urothelium. So this is the transitional epithelium. Always remember, don't be confused. The prostate urethra is the part of the transitional epithelium, but the penile urethra and membranous urethra is what? Stratified epithelium. So don't get confused. So this is all about the squamous epithelium, and if you like, I hope this you will found this video useful. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.